Neil Armstrong walked on the moon. He became a legend. But the man who built his suit? We don't know his name. Here's the uncomfortable truth. In all of human history, nobody has ever succeeded completely alone. Not one person, not ever. And by the end of this video, you'll never look at a self-made success story the same way again. You've heard success stories your whole life. One name, one face, one genius who did it all. That story feels true. It isn't. It never was. Behind Armstrong, there were 40 engineers. They spent 2 years building his suit. One mistake, and he never comes home. Seamstresses stitched every layer by hand. Mission control ran the numbers. Someone tested the parachutes. Someone else calculated the fuel down to the last drop. Someone else designed the lunar module that got him back up off the surface. Armstrong got the fame. They did the work. He took one step. Thousands of people made that step possible. His name is in every history book. Theirs isn't in any of them. Fame and achievement are not the same thing, but here's where it gets interesting. This isn't just a space story. Think about Apple. Everyone knows the name Steve Jobs. Fewer people know Steve Wozniak, the engineer who actually built the first computer. Jobs had the vision. Wozniak had the skill to make it real. Neither one builds Apple without the other. Later, a designer named Johnny Ive shaped the way every product looked and felt. No Jobs, no Wozniak, no Ive, no Apple as we know it. And behind all three of them, there were thousands of employees nobody outside the company will ever name. One face became the symbol. An entire company built the result. Here's an even sharper example. You've heard of Watson and Crick. They're credited with discovering the structure of DNA, one of the biggest breakthroughs in the history of science. But their breakthrough leaned heavily on data. Data collected by a scientist named Rosalind Franklin. Her research was used without her full credit, and for decades, most people never even heard her name. One of the biggest discoveries in science. Built partly on the work of someone written out of the story completely. This pattern goes even deeper. It shows up somewhere you'd never expect. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison. He came out. He became one of the most respected men alive. But what did he actually do in that cell for 27 years? Nothing. He couldn't. He was locked away. So who made Mandela? Millions of ordinary people did. People who refused a deal. Comfort in exchange for silence. People who kept showing up long before the world was watching. People who never got a statue or a holiday or a single line in a textbook. History gave one name to a movement built by millions. And here's the part that should bother you. Our brains remember one face, not a crowd. A single hero is easy to picture. A crowd isn't. It's simply how memory works. We hold on to one clear image, not 1,000 blurry ones. So history keeps the hero. It forgets everyone else, even when the crowd did most of the work, even when the crowd deserved the credit more. This isn't only true for astronauts or CEOs or world leaders or scientists. It's true for you too. Think about something you're proud of right now. Promotion, a win, getting in shape, finishing something hard. Look closer. There's always a name attached, even if you never think about it. A teacher who pushed you harder than you wanted. A friend who made one phone call that changed everything. Someone who covered for you at exactly the right moment without asking for credit. A parent who paid for something you never even knew about. A stranger who gave you one piece of advice at exactly the right time and probably doesn't even remember saying it. Maybe someone believed in you before you believed in yourself. Maybe someone simply stayed quiet and let you have the win. They're always there, quietly, in the background of every story you tell about yourself. We just don't put their names in the story. We put our own. Tell me in the comments, who's on your list? Who's the one person you never fully credited? So here's the shift worth making. Self-made people are just people whose story got told without the other names attached. Behind everyone you admire, there's a list you'll never hear. Behind everything you're proud of, there's probably a similar list too, longer than you think. So the next time you're chasing something on your own, remember this. You were never really running alone. None of us are. Nobody ever was. If this is the kind of thing you like thinking about, hit subscribe. I'm making a lot more of these. But here's something most people never think about. So many people helped you, quietly, along the way. without asking for anything back. So what do you give back? That's a bigger question than it sounds, and that's exactly what I'm talking about next.